Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's tutorial, we're going to go ahead and write the other parts of the CRUD functionality. We're going to write the update, the delete, and the add functionality. So let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and actually write the update, the delete, and then the add functionality to our database. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is what we have reached so far. We have been able to do the login and then the logout, and also have been able to do the individual product section. So now let's functionality for users to be able to add products to the database without having to go to the admin page. The users can also do that, but through the admin page. Now we want to create a form for the users to be able to do that without having to visit the admin page. So let's get started. So this is where we ended it from last time. So I'm going to go into for us to be able to create this, first of all, we need to create a form that the users will be able to fill, and after filling the form, then they'll be able to add that product, that detail into the database. So let me just close this for now. I'm just going to close all of this for now. So we need to inside here, we need to create a file called form.py. So I'm going to go here and create a forms.py. They're going to keep all our forms. Okay, so inside of forms.py, we're going to do the following. So we're going to say from Django .forms .form, just type .forms. You're going to be importing the model form, just like that. And then you're going to also import our models here. So from .models, you're going to be importing inventory, just like that. And then you're going to create a class here. You're going to call add inventory. Let's call it add inventory. And then this add inventory form, and this is going to be it's going to inherit from model form, and it's going to have the following. So we're going to have a class, a meta class here. So we're going to have a class. We're going to call it meta, just like this. And then it's going to have model, and the model is going to be inventory model. And then it's going to have fields, the field that the form is going to have. So the form is going to have the following fields. It's going to have the name field. It's going to have let me skip the single quote. It's going to have cost per item. So this actually came from our database. So these fields will be displayed as input for the user to be able to fill in, and then this will be the quantity underscore in underscore stock, and this is going to be quantity underscore sold, just like that. So now we have that. We can just go ahead and save that. So we can go back to our views. In our views, you can import that form right here. So from .forms import add inventory form. So great. So now that we have that, we need to create a view for this to work. So we need to go into our views. We need to go into down here. We just scroll down. I'm just going to scroll down, and then I'm going to go ahead and actually write that functionality. So here I'm going to scroll down here. And in here, I'm going to just go ahead into def, and then it's going to add underscore product, just like that. And you're going to accept request here. So now we're going to accept request here. What I'm going to do, I'm simply going to go ahead and say if request dot method, if the request method is a post method, so it's going to be a post method. Make sure you keep it all capital. So if the request method is a post method, what you're going to do, you're going to now create a form. So I'm going to call it add underscore, I'm going to call it add form. And then add form, what you're going to do is simply going to go in, and it's going to be called add inventory form. Just create a form instance there, and you say if add form dot is underscore valid. You're going to check if the form is valid, means all the fields have been provided. You're going to say new underscore inventory. New inventory is going to be add form, and then add form, what you're going to do, that you're going to now save it, and you're going to save it, and you're going to say commit. You're not going to commit this. You're going to say commit is going to be false. So we're going to prevent this from being committed. So now we're going to do new inventory is going to be new inventory dot sales, and the sales is going to be we're going to now convert this into float. You're going to say float, and you're going to say add form. You're going to dot data. You're going to get, now this is going to be a dictionary. So in the dictionary, you're going to get the cost underscore per underscore item. You're going to get the cost per item, and you're going to multiply that by, let me just multiply that by float. You're going to get another float, convert another thing into float, and this is going to be add form dot data, and then you're going to get the data that you want. This is going to be quantity underscore sold, just like that. So because if we want to get the price, you have to get the item per unit multiplied by the quantity sold, and that's going to return to us the price of that specific product, right? So let me just give some more lines here. So what you're going to do after doing that, you're going to now go new inventory dot save, just like that, and we can save that new inventory right there, and then we can now prompt the user with a message that the product has been saved. Now for now, just leave that message out. We'll be back to dealing with that message. So we're going to now redirect the user. We direct the user to the front page, which is going to be inventory page. So it's going to be / inventory / just like that. You're going to return the user to inventory. What if the request is not a post request? What if the user wants to receive the form, right, which is initially what the person does? If you go to a website, you issue a get request, and that returns to you the form, right, to display the form. So I'm going to say else. You're going to now do add form. It's going to be the add form instance, so just like that. And then we're going to now return a template. So we're going to say return render, and you're going to pass in a request, and you're going to pass in a name. So it's going to be inventory underscore it's going to be inventory underscore add.html. Then you're going to provide in the context, and the context is going to be a dictionary. You can just pass in a dictionary. It's going to say form, and this is going to be of type add form, just like that. So that's all we need to do. So now let's go ahead and actually create this here. So let's go to our templates here. So we're going to go to here, and then you're going to add in a new template, and it's going to be called inventory /add.html. So now that we press enter, and then you begin to extend this template. So we put in a code block. It's going to say extends, and then you're going to pass in two dots, and then /layout.html. So great. So now we're going to have the block content. We're going to have the block content. And make sure that you end that block content, just like that. So now that we have that set up, let's go ahead and actually render that form in there. So to render the form is going to be similar to the way we rendered the logout form. It's going to be a very similar approach. So we can just go to inventory here, logout, and then we can see a sample. So just go here and I take login rather. So you're going to have something very, very, very similar to this. So I'm just going to actually copy all of this and just paste it there. So I'm just going to copy all this, go to here, and then just replace all of this to save time. Yeah, that's what we need. So the form is going to be form, and then yeah, that's all we need. And this is going to be add inventory, and then you're going to say add inventory, just like that. And that's all we need to provide in this form. So that's all we need. So I can just go Control and S. So now we need to provide a route to display this, right? So we're going to go to our views here, and then we can just copy all of this. We're going to copy all of this. I'm going to select all of this properly, copy it, and then this is going to be a comma, and then paste it here. So it's going to be add product. So it's going to be add underscore inventory / and this is going to be add underscore inventory, just like that. So we need to save this, and now we can go back to our web page here, and then we can go to add underscore inventory. So press enter, and this will display to us the form. So we have a template. So we have an error here. So let me just try to, why is this saying that per product view by one positional argument? So let's see where the error is. It says that per product view missing one required argument primary key. So let me just save that, but you're not requiring any argument here. So let's try to see what the error is. So the first thing is that you have to make sure that this user is also logged in before they can add a product. So you have to add in the login required parameter. So this is going to go to add product, and let's, okay, I know where the error is. We have to go to inventory. We didn't actually import this, so import this and then actually replace it here. Okay, and then that should be done for us. So that's what we need to fix. So make sure you keep a comma right here. Yeah, that's what we need to do. So add inventory. So let me just Control Z. I think there is an M here, so let me delete that M, and then that's all we need to do. So I'm going to go back to the website and then try to refresh this, and then that should return to us the form to fill to add in a new product. So if you're adding a new product right now, let's say jackets, and then cost per item, maybe each jacket is 500, and then quantity in stock we have 14 stock, and then we have sold let's say we have sold 10, so that the cost, the sales now should be, the revenue should be 500, right? So if I save this, it doesn't redirect us. So let's see why it doesn't redirect us. So it doesn't redirect us to the page that we want, so it should redirect us to inventory. It doesn't do that. So let's try to see if this is going to be inventory. It doesn't redirect us to inventory. Why is that the issue? So let's see. I think we forgot to import redirect. So I need to redirect. It's already imported by Visual Studio Code, so make sure that you import redirect whenever it's not imported. So the login, I don't need this here, so I'm just going to remove this. So this, make sure I import redirect there, and then it should redirect you to /inventory and then inventory. Right? Yeah, that's what we need to do. And let's see, we are saving the database, and then we are directing the user to the / there. So we have simply said save, and then you have said commit it to false, because we don't want to commit this to database yet, because we want to update some fields here. So that's why we have said commit it was false, and you have been able to update the fields, which is a sales field, and you have calculated the sales using the cost per item, and then the quantity sold, and then we multiply those two values, we get the sales, and then now we can do inventory.save, and then we direct the user to /inventory, just like that. But now if I go back to, let me try to go back to my product page here. So if I go to inventory, I see only one product, means it hasn't been yet added. Why is that the case? Now whenever you try to add a form, it doesn't get added to the database, and I'll spot the error for that. So what we need to do in here, we need to provide in the form. So it can be a request, it's going to be, the data is going to, we need to provide in the data. It's going to be request, it's going to be request request.post. So the reason why we were previously trying to add it and it wasn't being added is that the the field were completely empty, so there was nothing to add. So that's why we have to now go ahead and actually say the data is going to be request.data, and then we check if it's valid, we calculate the sales, and then we save that to the database, and then we direct the user to the return to the inventory page. If it's not a post request, then the user is not trying to add into the database, so we're going to create a form instance with no data included, because we're just returning the form to the user, and then that's that. You're going to return this specific template. So let's check if our template is server is running. Yeah, it is. So let's try to go ahead and add sneakers, and let's say the price for each sneaker cost per item is 200, and the quantity in stock, when we have 15 in stock and you have sold 10, so the sales should be 2000. So if you go submit this, and you can see we have sneakers right here. If I click on sneakers, I can have the details for that sneakers. So that's how we write the functionality to be able to add a product to our database. So now let's write the functionality to be able to delete a product. So let's go ahead and actually write the functionality to be able to delete a product. So what you're going to do, I'm going to go into my views, and in here I'm going to now create a new function. So I'm going to call dev, and then this is going to be called delete inventory. So just like that. And then I'm going to now pass in a request. I need a request, and for you to be able to delete a product, you need that product's primary key in order to get it from the data. The primary key attribute here, primary key argument here. So we're going to now go to do inventory. We're going to get the inventory, which is going to be and then the inventory is going to be get object of 44. You're going to pass in our inventory database, and now primary key is going to be the primary key that we got from the user. And then what you're going to simply do, we're going to inventory dot delete, just like that. We're going to delete that inventory, and then you're going to now send a message to the user. So it's going to be now we haven't done this message, so I'm just going to return, and then you're going to redirect the user. You're going to redirect the user to inventory. So I'm going to pass in here, it's going to be /inventory, / just like that. So now this will be able to enable us to be able to delete a given user. So let's go ahead to the URLs and let's try to add this to our URLs. So go to our URLs and then you're going to add in that delete functionality right here. So I'm going to simply place a comma in here, sorry, a comma in here, not a full stop, and then simply copy this and then simply replace it here. So this is going to be just delete. So let me just type delete, and then you're going to take in now the primary key of that delete. So it's going to be int of type p primary key, just like that. And that's how we take in the primary key, and then this is going to be delete underscore inventory, and you have also imported it from here. So delete inventory has been imported, and this is to, instead of delete, it's going to, instead of add, is going to be delete, just like that. So that's all we need for that to work. So we can go ahead and actually save that. So how do we create a button for this to work? So there are no links for us to click, so let's go ahead and actually go to per product, and then in per product below here I can keep a link for this, for the delete functionality. So I'm going to create an anchor link, and then it's going to have it's going to go keep a code block here, and it's going to go to URL, and it's going to go to URL for delete. Let me just check what I call it here. So let's go to URLs, and it's going to call delete. We call it delete and delete, and then let's go back here, and delete you need to provide in the primary key. So it's going to be inventory.id, just like that, and this is going to delete this specific product. So we can call it these things here, we can call it delete let's call it delete inventory. Let's call it inventory. So I'm get a spelling of inventory, right? And then we can keep some classes here. So we can keep some classes. Let's keep the classes here. So this is going to be a class. It's going to be btn dash danger, and then btn dash sm. There's a small button, so I'm going to click save that. Now we can go back to our products page. So I'm going to refresh this, and then I'm going to click on this product, and let's see, I got an error here, reverse for delete not found. So this is actually not, I made an error, this is not delete, but it's supposed to be delete inventory, which is this the name of this route rather. So I made an error there, so I'm going to pass it here, save that there, and then just try to refresh my page again. Now that works. So if I go back down here, I can see I have this delete. So if I click on delete, it's going to delete this product, and then it's going to redirect us to the, if we delete the product, it's going to redirect us to the inventory page. So I can go ahead and actually click on delete. It's going to delete that product. You see that product is deleted and it has been redirected to this page here. So great, everything works as expected. Now let's go ahead and write the functionality to be able to add to update a product. Now to be able to update a product, what we need to do, we need also one thing I forgot here, so you need to be logged in before you can be able to delete a product, right? So login required here, so let's not forget that. So for our update functionality, we're going to now go to write a form for updating our product. So let's go back here and then click on and then go to forms here. So go to forms, sorry, made an error. So forms, and in forms here, we're going to write a form to update to update a product. So what we're going to do, create a class here. So we're going to create a class and we call it update inventory, and then form. So it's going to inherit from model form, just like this, model form, and we're going to inherit from model form. Also now we're going to pass in the meta class here. So we're going to pass in meta, and we're going to have a class, and the class is going to have a model, and the model is going to be inventory, and then you're going to have fields, the fields that are going to be displayed on the update form, and this is going to be a list. So we're going to pass in the fields. You're going to have a name field. You can update the name of the product, you can update the cost per item, you can update the quantity underscore in underscore stock, and then you can update the quantity underscore sold, just like that. I'm not going to update the sales, so I'm going to leave these two fields just like that. So now we can go back to our inventory, and in here what you're simply going to do is create a function def update underscore inventory. So we're going to accept the request, and you're going to accept a primary key, right? So let me just go And you're going to accept again the primary key here. So what you're going to do is you're going to now first get that inventory. So you're going to say inventory. So inventory is going to be get object of 404. We pass in our database as inventory, and the primary key is the one that you're getting from the user. Test this primary key, and then you're going to repeat the same processes. So you're going to say if we're going to create a form here, you're going to say if request dot method, if the request method is equals to a post method, means the user wants to update a form, right? Because you make a post request when you want to update something. You're going to create an update form, and this is going to be equals to the following. Is going to be inventory. It's going to be update inventory form, and this should be imported from forms. It should be imported. So it has already been imported for us by Visual Studio Code. So now we can go ahead and say if updated form dot is underscore valid, means that if checking if the form is valid. And then if the form is valid, you're going to do the following. You're going to get inventory dot name is going to be equals to the update form dot data, and then you're going to get the name field. So you're going to get the name, and then you're going to repeat this for all the other fields that you're going to update. So inventory dot quantity in stock, this will be our update form, the update form dot data dot you can get quantity in stock. So I'm just going to copy this and then paste it here. These are going to be the same. So update form, this is going to be update form dot data dot field. So let's see why it says update form is not defined. So this is update, so it's actually a small u here. So update form, okay, my bad. So I'm going to go to inventory dot quantity sold. So in quantity sold is going to be update form dot data, and then I'm going to get the quantity sold field. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in here, and then I'm going to get the inventory dot this is be cost per item. It's going to be update form dot data dot, I'm going to get the copy this, and then I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. So paste it in here, and then I'm going to now finally get the inventory dot sales. So inventory dot sales, and this is going to be you're going to take the float of the inventory dot cost per item, and then I'm going to multiply this by going to create a float again. You're going to be inventory dot quantity sold. So we're going to multiply those two, and then I'm going to now simply going to save this to my database, inventory dot save, just like that. And I'm going to save this into my database. After it saves, I'm going to return redirect. I'm going to return the user to / inventory / just like that. And then else if it's not a post request, so I'm going to do an else here. So I'm going to else you're going to do the following. You're going to say update form is going to be update inventory form, just like that. Create an simple instance, and I'm going to return render, and I'm going to pass in the request, and I'm going to pass in the form name, which is going to inventory / and then it's going to be inventory underscore update.html. Then I'm going to pass in the form here, and the form is going to be I'm going to pass in the context, which is going to be a dictionary. So you can say form, and then the form context is going to be dictionary. So it's going to be update form, just like that. Update form, just like that. So now you can also pass in this as a context, so you can cut this from here and assign it to a context. So you can do what you can say context, let me see, context, and the context is going to be a simple dictionary, which is going to be this right here. And then you can say context be that context right there. So this is going to be context. So great. So you can also pass in the plain dictionary here directly, or you can create a dictionary called context and pass in that context right there. So now that we have done that for the update functionality, let's go ahead and actually create a template for that. So let's go create a template called update inventory update. So let's go in here and then create a template, and I'm going to call it inventory update this is going to be .html. So press enter, and I'm simply going to go to the add form, and I'm going to select all of this, copy it, and I'm going to update, and I'm going to paste that in there, and this is going to be update, and then this is going to be update, simple. Or you can even decide to use the same forms if you want, but I just changed it for my own users. So just save that, and then that's all we need to do. We need to now go to the URLs and providing a route for that. So I'm going to copy this, Control Z. I'm going to copy that and paste that in here. This should be update, and then providing the primary key, and it's going to call update inventory, and make sure that update inventory is imported here. So update inventory is imported here, and then let's change the name to be, instead of delete, it should be update. So let's create a form, a field, a click where the user can click and go to that specific page. So let's go to per product, and then I'm going to simply copy this, and then I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to call it this is going to be, change this to be update. So it's going to be update, and it's going to go to this, and then providing the primary key as expected, and this is all we need. So this is going to be update, and then I'm going to change the bootstrap classes. This is going to be change this to be there's some bootstrap classes outline. The success, we can leave it as success like that, and then you can save that. So now I want the update should come before the update button should come before the delete button, right? So I'm going to save that, and then I can go back, check if my server is running. The server stopped running, so it says that let me just stop this again, clear it, and then I can see where the error is coming from. So we just reset it. Okay, it's running fine. So we can just go to refresh this page, and if I click on this product, it's going to bring me to this page. If I click on update, it's going to bring me to this form. Now the form data, the form is initially empty. Now what if I want to fill this form prior to updating? So now that's very simple to do. So what I want to do, I can just go to my inventories. I can go to inventories here, so I can just close some of this up. So just close this, and just go to inventories, and what I want to do before I return the form to the user, I want to fill the form, right? So I want to fill the form with some instance. So I'm going to say instance, and then the instance is going to be inventory. So just like that, and I can save it. So now if I go back to my website and I try to refresh this, you can see it has already been filled with the inventory before I can update. So let me just try to update to be 20. So if I go ahead and actually update inventory, it didn't redirect me to any page. So let me just try to go back and see why it didn't redirect me. So let's see why it didn't get redirected. So it redirects inventory, and then I can go to I want to direct to the per product too. So per, and then I'm going to say per underscore product, per product, and then I'm going to say per product, and then it requires a primary key, right? So I'm going to say, and then providing the primary key there, and the primary key is going to be a pk which I've got from the user. So this is going to be an f string for that to work. So f string, and then it's going to direct to inventory per product, and then the primary key, which is the same update here. So let me just try to check if why it's not being redirected. So let me just save that one more time. So the form gets saved, and then we get redirect, and we get redirected to inventory / per product, and per product is a route here. So if you go back, let me just go back to my URLs. You go to per product, this route here, that's where you're going to, and then you're going to provide the primary key, because this route here needs the primary key. So you're providing the primary key as the current product's primary key that we got from the user. So after updating a product, you're going to redirect to the individual product page, and then that's all we need to do. So yeah, that's all we need to do, and we can go ahead and okay, the product is not being updated because here, right, you see I forgot this again. So we're going to put in the data, and the data is going to be request.post, right? we need the data to in order to update the form, and if the form is updated with the data, now this way we can go ahead and actually save it to a database and return the data to and return the user to this specific page. Okay, so now if I go back to my inventories, if I go back here and I try to refresh, now I can click on this again, brings me to this page. I can click on update inventory and I can change this to be 20, and I click on update inventory, and this is going to now return me to this page, and it says me that not found. So it says that product per product, this is not found. So let's try to check if we got the route right. So it's going to be per product and then underscore inventory per product and then the primary key. So let's try to see why we're getting that error. So this is per product, so make sure I copy that and then I paste it in here. So yeah, I made an error there, so let me just go back. So let me just change it to 20 and then update, and then it's going to redirect me to this page, and you can see quantity sold has been updated to 20. And then if I go back to the inventory page, I can just go back to the inventory page, refresh this, I can see it has been updated and the prices revenue has been calculated accordingly. So great, everything seems to work. So we have the update functionality, the delete functionality, and everything in between. So now everything there seems to work. Now what I want to do in here, I want to create I want to go back to my product page, and then here I want to give a margin bottom of 3. So I want to give it a bit of space there. So if I go to and I go to refresh this, go to sneakers here, and you can see that there's a bit of margin there. Yeah, that's what I wanted, and that's good. So in the next page, what you're going to do in the next tutorial is you're going to now add in the different graphs and other stuff, and then we can go ahead and actually add in these links here. So let's do that before we end this tutorial. So I'm going to go to layout.html. So I'm going to go to my layout.html, and in here we say if the user is authenticated, and if that's true, what you're going to do here, if the user is authenticated, is what you're going to now display some fields. So what you first need to do is going to add product. So we're going to add inventory. So add inventory is going to go to this URL, sorry, add inventory, this one here, copy it, and then per product, sorry, layout.html, and then make sure I paste it here. So paste it there, and this is going to be add inventory, just like that. And then yeah, that's what we need to do, add inventory. And this I can delete this, we don't need this for now. I can just get rid of that and delete this. So I can just this page add inventory, and add inventory should come before logout. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it right here, move it there, and then tap that in. Okay, so that's all I want to do. So now the links work. So if I go back and let me try to refresh this, and you can see that link, add inventory. If I click it, it brings this page where I can add a new inventory. So let's go ahead and add a new inventory. Let's add jackets, and each jacket is 400, let's say, and then quantity in stock is 30, and then we have sold for 20, and then we can just go ahead and actually add that to a database, and you can see jacket is there. If I click on this, I can get the details about that jacket. I can delete it and I can update that jacket information. So I can just click on update, it's going to redirect me to the jacket page, and everything says the same. Yeah, so if I click on this right now, it doesn't take me anywhere. So let me just go ahead and actually fix that link. So this is just going to be a code block, and make sure we write the code block here. Sorry, the latest is actually here, and it's going to be $, 2 dollar signs, and it's going to be your URL, and then URL is going to be I can keep here a single quote, and I'm going to simply return. Let me go to the URLs here, and I can simply return inventory list. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to my layout.html and simply paste it in there. So if I go back to my website, refresh this, and if I click on this, you can see it's going to take me to the inventory page right here. So that's everything seems to work, and that's how we can be able to create our page. So in the next tutorial, we're going to go ahead and actually deal with the graphs, how to draw the graphs using Plotly, and that will be the end of this tutorial. So guys, if you like it so far, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.